Listen, man, in case you didn't know, it's almost getting close. In case you didn't know, it's unraveling. Listen, man, in case you didn't know, it's almost getting close. In case you didn't know, it's unraveling. It's all unraveling. Hey, I would like to welcome you to the podcast. And these are your hosts. Shit, you show. Safa. And you know me. And Roshan. Jubilee.
All right. This is Thursday, June 3rd, 2021, and we would like to welcome you to the Truth Be Told Flex podcast. It's all unraveling, episode number 14, which is Plandemic. And I also would like to welcome our newest co-host, Yasharia. We're going to get all of that worked out as far as, can you hear me, brother? Am I being heard? Okay, then cool. We're going to get that all worked out as far as making sure that he is a part of the intro song as well. We do have a full house today. Everybody is here. Yeah, everybody is here. Okay, then cool. And when we left last week, we did let it be known that we was going to do a part 2 of the Plandemic. Starting this show out, we're going to get the foundation scripturally. I'm going to pass this one over to Oxafa.
Hey man, everybody doing good? Are we on punishment? We can't talk or something? We on groundation? What's going on? Yeah, good? Okay. All right. I see the brother below me. There you go. All right. There you go. Hey man,
we are doing amazing. We are in the building. Shalom to y'all, man. Shalom.
That was the first time for me, as well as the audience, to see the pictures pop up like that. And that was nice.
Appreciate that, brother. I
ain't even seen that before.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a drag on my end, and I don't know if it was dragging on you guys' end. Because the way that I edited it, when Roshan come in with, I'd like to introduce you to the show, and he give out our name, our faces come up again as our names come up. But like I said, I got a lag over here, and it looked like it was running a little bit behind. And if so, I do apologize for that. But other than that, man, we ready to get into the show. Let's get it going, man.
No, let's. And I do apologize send it to Roshan, but I'm gonna bring it out, Roshan. Jasher chapter 4, 18 to 19.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I just do 18, not 19. Jasher chapter 4, verse 18. And their judges and rulers went to the daughters of men and took their wives by force from their husbands according to their choice. Now we dealing with the fallen ones, the ones who fell from the heavens and start dealing with the women and proceed giants through them. But we dealing with the fathers of the giants right now. And their judges and rulers went to the daughters of men and took their wives by force from their husbands according to their choice. And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth, the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the air, and taught the mixtures of animals of one species with the other, in order to therewith to provoke the Most High. And the highest saw the whole earth, and it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted its way upon the earth, all men and all animals. So we dealing with the followers teaching human, as I'm going to use, how to splice and mix up animals, and therefore that's where we get our dinosaurs from that you see. But the same thing that causes the flood is happening today. Yasha said in the days of Noah, they was eating and drinking, married, giving in marriage. Now, I don't think the Most High will flood the earth out over marriage and eating. So it had to be something going on that causes to piss off the Most High to cause him to flood the earth. And he also gave another example of the days of Lot. Well, in Sodom, Gomorrah, and the four cities, there was pedophilia, molestation, rape. There was a lot going on, corrupt system with the law. So he gave two accounts of destructions back then that we living in two eras of dangerous time merged into one. We're dealing with splicing and we dealing with sodomy that's going on today. So, but we're gonna stick with the days of Noah, the splicing, the creation, the redoing of the DNA, all that with the gang of function.
Con, I appreciate that, brother. And if you don't mind, I want to add Jubilees, the book of Jubilees as well. And this is coming out of chapter 5, 1 through 3. And we're reading all of this for a reason as well, because I don't know, for those who have followed the show from the very beginning, one of the things that we said is that we want to, for those who doubt the word of the Most High, we want to let you see how the word of the Most High correlate with what's happening in the world today that we live in. And so we're bringing out the things that is in the world, and we're showing you that the Bible itself speaks relevant truth as to what is happening. And this is the book of Jubilees, chapter 5. And it came to pass when the children of men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters was born unto them, that the angels of the Most High saw them on a certain year of this Jubilee, that they was beautiful to look upon, and they took to themselves wives of whom they chose, and they burned to them sons, and they were giants. And lawlessness increased on the earth, and all flesh corrupted its way alike, men and cattle and beasts and birds of everything that walks on the earth. All of them corrupted their way. I'm going to repeat that. All of them corrupted their way and their order, and they began to devour each other. And lawlessness increased in the earth, and every imagination of the thoughts of men was evil continually. I'm going to stop there. This is where we are at right now, that every imagination of man is evil continually. And one of the main reasons that the Most High destroyed the earth in the beginning was that man was getting to a point where everything that they wanted to do, they were being able to do it. And we're living in that same time right now. This is part 2 of Plandemic, right? And we talked about gain of function. Today, what I want to do is I want to simplify gain of function to the simplest term that when you hear it, you will know exactly what it is that we're talking about. They use these souped up words and they dress them up. And all only thing that they're doing, as Oxify was bringing out, as in the days of Noah, they're splicing. And this is what it means when the Bible say that they were corrupting their ways and with the animals and with everything else. The same gods. And I think it's important that we do take this time out to get this understood. The same gods that were the gods of old are the same gods that the elites of the world follow today, which means that the same agenda that the giants or the men of renown had back then is the exact same agenda that they have today. It has not changed. And with that being said, the very thing that they were trying to do, they're still trying to do, which is unify, have one mind, one language, one government. And they use all of these different tactics to get their point across. And one of them being global warming, and the other one being the fear tactic of pandemics and viruses. This is not something new. This is not anything new at all. So to start this off, I'm going to ask the question, and you guys don't all start at one time or another on top of each other when I ask this question, but have you ever heard the term silent warfare? And what I mean by that is that the majority of us are sitting around waiting on World War III. We think the majority of the people don't believe that World War III is going to start until they start seeing missiles flying. I'm under the impression that World War III has already started. In fact, September 11, 2001 was the declaration of World War III. And everything that you have seen since that time, all the way up until now, March of last year, has been different phases of World War III. Do anybody have any comments on that? If so, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement with it. We have since what they would call 9/11. There's been things going on that side of the sea, and it's like the biochemical warfare is on this side of the sea. While they shoot the missiles over there, they destroying the body over here, basically. So yeah, I'm in agreement with you.
Kind. I'm equally in agreement. Like we know the scripture says a house divided can't stand, right? So we know that could be speaking about, a house in its literal sense, a family structure, or a nation, right? That can even go as far as to say a country. So when you look at the country of, so-called what we call America, we know according to Revelation 17 and 16 that the 10 horns will burn the whore, right? Uh, and after the burning of the whore, there will be fighting or adversity amongst those very same 10 horns with one another, right? So when you look at World War III, a lot of people who are looking at it from a carnal sense or a worldly perspective, they're, like you said, they're looking for, you know, guns and missiles and bombs to start dropping and firing off, not understanding the war is first started in the subconscious, right? I'm gonna subconsciously wage war against you, psychologically destroy you, and then by the time the physical war come, you ain't even gonna want to fight back because you so destroyed. So I definitely agree.
Right, right, right. And thirdly, I do as well. Can y'all hear me?
Kind, we can hear you.
Everybody can hear me? Because it looks like Justin is still going, or is that a delay?
Oh, now we hear you, Aki.
Okay, so yeah, I agree. I agree. Thirdly, as well, because I like what all of you guys said, and I'm looking at this term, waging war or wage war, just like demons, how they wage war with us in the spirit. So when you think about the word waging war, it means to basically engage you into a war. And I think that's what time we're in now. We're in the time of where they're engaging war through conflict, right? And all of these things through confusion, right? So I agree. We're in the time of waging war in the physical right now. So yeah, I
Ex-
agree.
ex-
So
exactly. And I'm gonna piggyback off of our brother Yesharia because that was the intent of the question that I asked. If I was going to go into war with somebody, one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to know what your weaknesses are. If you don't have any weaknesses, then what I'm going to do as an effective general, I'm going to create weaknesses. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. They are creating weaknesses. They have been engaging in warfare with us from the very beginning. Yesharia said something as well. He talked about the government of China one time, and we all collectively had talked about the social credit score that they have over there. We're taking our time with this, getting to the gain of function. Okay, we're gonna get to the gain of function because all of this ties into it. The warfare that they're waging on us is that they're trying to make the government so big to where they're taking individuality away from us. What other way to bring the world under one government, one mind, one sound, one law, unless you get everybody with the same mind state? China has figured out a way. They got their people on lockdown. And when I say lockdown, I don't mean physical lockdown to where they locked up in the house. They have their people on lockdown to where the government sees everything that they do. I think it's almost to a point where it's almost impossible for them to even use a restroom without the government knowing about it. And what America is trying to do, they are trying to mirror the image that China has made over there. One of the reasons of this gain of function is that, and I'm gonna read it from an article here. Here, matter of fact, I'm gonna bring up the article. That way you guys can see it. I'm gonna bring this article up. Can you see that? Where is it at?
You got the double screen thing going again, Aki.
I wonder why I keep doing that. I wonder why I keep doing that. One of the reasons that they want to, let me find this article. One of the reasons that they are scaring us in the way that they are, and I'm saying scare because it's all fear tactics with this Plandemic, is that they're trying to have more control over the people. They want to be able to bring in more surveillance. They want to be in more control of our lives. Here it is right here. No. We're going to talk about that as well. One second. I wonder why it is doing that as well. Here we go. I'm about to bring this article in. Is that the double still?
No, you good.
Okay, then cool. It says this question. It says, what good does gain of function research do? It says, advocate of this kind of gain of function research points to a few things. In general, they argue that it will enhance surveillance and monitoring for new potential pandemics. Do you hear that? The key word here is surveillance and monitoring. Surveillance and monitoring. This is where they are trying to get to. Since 2001, September 11, this is what we've been under. More surveillance and more monitoring. Don't you know that they are now trying to put objects in people's phones that is going to be able to detect if you have COVID-19 or not? Surveillance and monitoring. We are already in World War III, people. This is the point that I'm trying to make. Now, what is gain of function? Gain of function, while it may sound like a positive thing, we're about to go into this now. While it may sound like a positive thing, it actually refers to the act of weaponizing viruses. Who fights a war without weapons? So the viruses that are attacking people are the weapons that they are engaging on us in the warfare, okay? Refers to the act of weaponizing viruses, often through genetic manipulation. In layman's terms, often through creating them, are the viruses. Coronavirus, like SARS, typically have a narrow host range infecting one or just a few species. Such viruses as COVID-19, for gain of function, to enable them to infect other species, human cells, interfere with the immune system response, and readily spread through the air. So in other words, these people have come together to create weapons of warfare, aka viruses, that will impair your immune system, and they are being easily transmitted through the air. Weapons of mass destruction. While we're looking for AK-47s and grenades and bombs and missiles, they inviting you to come take the weapon that they want to give you. Go ahead, people. Who got something to say on that?
The weapon the hardest weapon that destroys inward out. You go to any type of war ground, fire in the hole. They always throw something in the hole, blow whatever's inside of it out, and take over that spot. Any type of war, they're gonna start with the inside, then work their way out. Okay, we're gonna destroy the certain communities and start rebuilding that. As they rebuilding that, now we're gonna take the people that's in that community that we rebuilding out of there. Where they gonna go? That's the same thing that they doing with us, man. They constantly find ways to destroy our insides.
Exactly.
Over and over and over. We thought that everybody thought we was tripping when we just talked about chemtrails in the sky. When that plays a major part.
It goes all the way back to, we're about to go into our music break, and I'm gonna say this: we're gonna go into our music break, and if you got a point that you want to finish, you finish it on the other side. If not, we'll move around the table. But it goes back to what Yeshaya was saying, was that they have engaged us to weaken us. Everything about the society that we live in now is to weaken us. So when they get ready for the full-on attack, we're not gonna have any fight. No fight whatsoever. All the way down to destroying the family, the home, which is taking a man out of the house. Let's go to the music.
They're destroying the inside. But yeah, go ahead.
Exactly. Let's go to the music break and we'll be right back.
Yeah. Praise the Most High. You the king. Tell them boys they better pray. Tell them boys to turn away. Said we in the last days, take advantage of the grace. Praise the Most High. May you know I'm praying night and day. Repent today, it ain't no now or later. Most High judge, it ain't no mercy, man, that's how we made. You hear that spirit in my voice, cause that's just how I raised. Man, I hope he spare my soul, sometimes I see, no. Get down on my knees and constantly pray, no. Sometimes I just call on his name. I plead the bloody back a higher plea. I need you, please. Can you hear my plea? Yeah. Tired of transgressions, I repent now, yeah. Rebuking all these demons after me. Praise the Most High. Most High, I need a second chance. Thinking about them days when I was clubbing out here chasing bands. Now I'm in them scriptures every day, cause I can't take a chance. Trying to get the kingdom, once I get it, I'ma celebrate, yeah. Cause no weapon formed against me shall prosper, yeah. Repent from all your sins, put down that chopper, yeah. You're shy about to come and crack the sky. He gon' be waiting outside. Yeah. So you know we praying night and day. So you know we got a lot of faith. Christ gon' show up with no mercy, that's the final day. You hear that spirit in our verses, that's just how we made. Spiritual grounds, boy. Miracles now, boy. Most high metaphors. It's lyrical sounds, boy. It's pressure. Israelites to the front, we next up. Christ coming with a garment looking like some ketchup. Go on and put your bulletproof vest up. Yeah. That flame about to roast them like some chestnuts. Guarantee he make you put your chest up. A short, a higher, please. Closer to your spirit, what I need. Abba, now I would worship you on my face and on my knees, growing fruits of the spirit, trees. So you know we praying night and day. No, I'm praying night and day. So you know we got a lot of faith. Christ gon' show up with no mercy, that's the final day. You hear that spirit in our verses, that's just how we made. No, you hear that spirit in my verse, cause that's just how I made. Bubble in my hand, I go so hard because that's how I made. spirit for them demons before they gon' get out my way. Why? Yeah. No, I put my people on. Yeah, big old trees when we get home. Chillin' in the kingdom, it's so peaceful, glad I made it home. Why you in that trap house trying to cash out? You better save your soul. You better change your ways and just play it safe. Remember the days of old. Didn't believe I'm the people's choice. Better hop on this bus. Christ about to come with the meters up, yeah. Praise the Most High. Judah King, Judah King, Judah King, Judah King.
Already.
Yeah, that song brings tears to life every time.
Boy.
That is
I
our
want,
very
I want to meet this Roshan Judah King guy.
Y'all wrong. Y'all wrong for that one, man.
that is our very own Roshan Judah.
And say, man, let
I'm
me say,
humble. I'm
come
humble.
on.
That is our very own Roshan Judah. We want to appreciate you for that track, man. That right there, man. That's a song. Real talk. That is a song that could be a anthem in the hoods, because one thing with us, I don't want to digress too much here, but I do have to say this. One thing with us, especially black men, we have been taught wrong on how to be men, and we feel like that there is an image that we have to uphold of hardness, which makes it real difficult for us to turn our lives over to the Most High.
Me and
Ahaya
Yeshaya
is
talk
not
about this all the
asking
time.
us. Ahaya is not asking us to change who we are in order to serve him, man. You can be who you are, but you got to learn how to be who you are in righteousness, man. So that right there, brother, I want to, you know what I'm saying? I give you a fist bump. Real talk, I give you a fist bump.
Praise the
But
Most High.
back,
Thank y'all.
yes, sir. Thank you. Back to the discussion though, with the gain of function and these viruses, not just this COVID virus, but all of these viruses. They are weapons of warfare that they are being engaged against us. Were you done with your point
Yeah,
so
yeah,
far?
yeah. Because I started getting heated just talking about how they like to destroy our inner bodies and everything. And yeah, I'm done, man. You go ahead, huh?
Yashari, you got anything to add to it, brother?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Very, very good point. You made mention of the solid warfare that's being waged, and that has been being waged for some time now, right? I want to lead with one scripture, and then I want to, go ahead and make my point. Uh, so in Second Baruch, this is chapter 25, right? One of the signs of the judgment being nigh, it says, when a stupor shall seize the inhabitants of the earth, and they shall fall into many tribulations, and again they shall fall into great torments.
Hmm.
Right? It goes on to say, and it will come to pass when they say in their thoughts by reason of their much tribulation, the mighty one doth no longer remember the earth. Yea, it will come to pass when they abandon hope that that the time will then awake. So it's going to get so bad out here to where, you know, people will literally be in a stupor, right? So let's key in on that word real quick, right? So a stupor, the definition of a stupor is a state of near unconsciousness or insensibility, right? Now, when you look at the word unconsciousness, as we all know, the state of being uninformed or unaware, right? Or it could mean literal unconsciousness. And then the insensibility, lack of awareness or concern, indifference. So you just don't care about the things that's happening around you. Now, the reason I brought that up is because one of the effects of, the cocktail is the fact that it inhibits your neurons from being transmitted through your central nervous system. So your thoughts are not your own, right? Even if you had even if you had the genuine intent to turn to the Most High, this is why I said if you receive, this mark, whatever the mark may be, if you receive this mark, there's no turning back. Let's, like they say, playing devil's advocate, right? Let's say this cocktail is that mark that's inhibiting you from having the very thoughts that would return you to the Most High, the very thoughts that would convict you to repent and try to get back on the right path. Well, for starters, you don't have a care for the condition that you're going through, that you're in, right? And for two, this stupor, this stupor would make you uh it's actually kind of ironic. We call it the gain of function that we're speaking about. It would actually make you unable to function properly, right? So the very gain of function that's being pushed on the world would actually cause you to be unable to function if you're under this stupor, if you've taken that cocktail. So, I'll leave off with saying there's a tribulation coming. We've been knowing this coming. This is also referred to as Jacob's trouble. Uh, Jacob is the primary mission, if you will. Everyone else is collateral. You in the way, you support of Jacob, you're gonna get knocked down too.
That's what we need to talk about, man.
Con.
A drive-by don't care for as long as they hit the target. Person doing a drive-by do not care if they shoot up whoever in the house as long as they get their target, man. That's exactly what it is.
I got something I want to say.
Rashawn,
Can y'all
go
hear me?
ahead, brother. Yes, sir.
Brother Yeshub, you actually said this before we went to break, and I found it very interesting because I thought about this for a second. You said that they are engaging us to weaken us, right? So when you said that, I was like, wait a minute. We hear people say stuff like, Satan don't change. He uses the same tricks. I really don't think people understand how true that is. Check this out. This is Isaiah 14:12. He's engaging us to weaken us, right? Watch this. Showing you that he never changes. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
The nations. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Come
So
on,
when
brother.
you said that, I was like, wait a minute. Satan really doesn't change. That was his plan from the beginning. As soon as he was hurled down, his initial plan was to weaken the nation.
Weaken the
And
nations.
guess what? He's doing the same thing right now. I turn it back over.
Exactly. Excellent points, man, on all of this. I'm really taking my time with this, and I appreciate you fellas, man, with following along, because this is one of these situations where I really want the people to walk away from this episode aware of the enemy and the tactics of the enemy. They have absolutely no borders, and they have no loyalty to anybody. Yeshariah said it best that the collateral starts with the house of Jacob, right? And everybody else is just free game. You're going to get rolled over too, because they don't care about you as well. And this is true. I'm going to bring up two parts of two articles here, okay? I'm going to share something here. And I'm going to show you that these people are trying to kill us. This here says what gain of function research looks like. I'm going to highlight this here so you can see it. My man Yeshariah always pull out those small things that they be saying, right? It says the 2001 an Australian research team went to work on what was intended to be a contraceptive virus for pest control, targeting mice. Instead of sterilizing the mice, the ectromelia virus the scientists were using killed the mice, all of them, in viruses, lethality, and transmittability tend to trade off. So this was a bad outcome for pest control, as well as an alarming one from safety perspective. So the word here, contraceptive virus for pest control. From 1919 to 2021, they say that the world population went from 1.7 billion to 6 billion. Guess what? We are a pest to the elite. 2001, they killed all the mice with a virus. But watch this. It gets even better. This is from an article. Look at this. Alaskan victims of 1918 flu yield sample killer virus. In other words, they went all the way to Alaska to try to find somebody who died from the 1918 Spanish flu so that they could recreate it. And this is what the reason why they want to do it. It says experts have said that analyzing the genetic pattern of this 1918 virus will help scientists learn how it was able to kill so many people and will help them prepare vaccines against the virus, it researches.
Hey, can you get a name and a source to that article? We couldn't see it, so yeah, so people can look it up if you have it still.
This article is from the New York Times.
There it goes.
The name of the article was Alaskan victim of 1918 flu yield sample of killer virus. This was in 1998. So what we're dealing with now is not new. This article is from 1998. The other article that I'm coming from a lot is from Vox, which is creditable. This is a 2019 virus, and look at the name of this. Biologists are trying to make bird flu easier to spread. They're trying to make bird flu easier to spread. We can't make this up, people.
Wait. What the hell? Easier to spread? I mean, it's already easy to spread. So basically, they want to take it from this small portion and put it in the air, your food, your drink, whatever you touch. Everything that could be easier to spread.
Because in that article, remember, contraceptive pest control. The mice was the subjects then. Now they using what they learned on the people.
Yeah, so it ain't no STD. That's a killer STD in layman's terms.
There you go.
And something else, because you said it was called a contraceptive. Say it again.
Contraceptive pest control.
The irony in that, right? All right. They were doing this test run on mice. We already know that Amalek, right, or the people who inhabit Israel now refer to us as Goyim.
Goyim, right? Thank you, brother. I was gonna bring that out. Let's go.
Yes, and it's so funny that they went to Alaska for this research, considering that when you people that have a large, their diet consists of a large amount of like fish, salmon, tilapia, or whatever have you. The same reason that people take those fish oil pills, if y'all are familiar with that, what they do is it fortifies your reproductive system. So it helps you to become more vigorous, like in, with your spouse, and you have a higher chance at, conceiving children. When you look up the word contraceptive, guess what it means? Of a method or device serving to prevent pregnancy. So if I'm doing a research based on mice, right? Because if you look at the infrastructure of a mouse, it mimics that of a human. This is why they always use mice. Why would you be conducting research on how to prevent mice from reproducing?
Exactly. In the
same book we started out with Jubilees and Jasher, it talks about how they came up with birth control pills, how women can go ahead and keep their figure, how contraceptives was invented. So they just playing the same thing that they gods gave them.
They playing the exact same thing that they gods gave them. Exactly. And one of the huge points of those two articles that I was bringing out as well, both of them mimic each other in the sense of the end game. We have to know what their end game is. If we don't know what their end game is, then all of this that we're doing is for nothing. The end game is to kill off as many people as they possibly can. Last week, there was a clip where the brother was talking about the tennis ball and the product. We did a show. I don't know if we did the show or if that was the show that I did with my wife where we talked about Pfizer's revenue that they made, right? The government went to the companies, Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, said, hey, we need a product that is going to be able to produce this. They went to their scientists and said, hey, we got a customer that's supposed to pay top dollar for this product that can do this. And the scientists went to the lab and they created it, and out comes what we got right now, which is called a cocktail. And now they are begging people to take the cocktail. My brother Yesharia put in our group meet deal where in Virginia, they're offering free guns if you take the cocktail. Anheuser-Busch say, hey, they giving every American over the age of 21 a free beer if you take the cocktail. Whatever your vice is, they got it. I'm sure for dudes who like tricks, you know what I'm saying? They're probably gonna find, free prostitutes. You ain't got to worry about going to jail if you take the cocktail. Whatever we need in order for you to take the cocktail, we gonna get it. We gonna get it to you.
She can have full-blown AIDS too, can't she?
Whatever it is, man, that we need to get you to take the cocktail, we gonna give it to you. Roshan, you got something to say, brother?
It's like you just said. I'm not sure if y'all can hear me very clear because I'm actually in the car now, but it's like you just said. Right now, Satan, he's trying to get you. In Scripture, it talks about how, Satan in the last days, he's going to know that he has but a short time. So, we all know that the more Christ starts to reveal himself in the earth, Satan is going to do the same exact thing. He's going to start revealing himself in the earth as well. So, hey, that's just what it is. This is where we are.
It is what it is.
Exactly. There is a danger what comes with gain of function, brothers, which is that you got a group of men who is taking viruses and what they're doing is making them more dangerous than what they are. Okay. We know that the bird flu within itself is deadly. And the U.S. government, they had two laboratories where they was taking the bird flu and they was making it more dangerous than what it already was. Now, these are things, if you was an artist, you would have your art put up somewhere safe, right? If you collected things, you would have the things that you have collected put up somewhere, which means that all of these viruses that they have been working on, guess what? They're put up in laboratories. Think about the danger of that. 2014, I'm going to give you a little history. 2014 was a bad year for scientists and biohazards. In June of 2014, 75 scientists that was messing with gain of function at the Center of Disease Control and Prevention were exposed to anthrax. They wouldn't have been exposed to the anthrax if they hadn't have been messing with it to begin with, but 75 of them was exposed to anthrax. Listen to this one here. A few weeks later, the FDA, Food and Drug Administrator officials, ran across 16 forgotten vials of smallpox that was in a storage. I just want to stop there and y'all think about that. 16 vials of smallpox that was forgotten about in a storage. What if the wrong person came across those vials? We got the government and scientists and people with big money, billionaires, messing with innocent people's lives. That is the anchor of what this show is about. The very people that we are supposed to trust are the very people who is trying to kill us. 16 vials of smallpox.
16 vials. Come on.
That was forgotten about. Oh, look what I found. Yesharia, look. You see this?
See,
How long this has been here?
16 valves. So valves that are labeled, set aside inside of a valve tray with the label on it, put inside of an incubator, forgotten about. What they just leaving out? They just left them out.
This is the danger of this. It's 4 of us that is on the show right now, right? 4 of us.
Huh.
I'm sorry, Roshan. It's 4 of us that's on this show. What if the 4 of us, let's put ourselves in the shoes of scientists, okay? And I want each one of y'all to go around the table on this when I lay this out. Let's put our shoes put ourselves in the shoes of scientists that's researching gain of function research. Oh, and we start with good intentions because you know that they say that they always do, right? We need to find out more about this so that we can be able to combat it. You know, if a pandemic was to occur, I don't know how a pandemic is going to occur when what it is that you're trying to create naturally won't create. But anyway, this is what we're doing. Now, all of a sudden, Yesharia gets mad at me because I feel like I know everything. And then I go talk to you, and now you mad at Yesharia. And then Yesharia go talk to Roshan, and Roshan mad at you, Yesharia, and me. We all got a beat. And we got this deadly virus that's sitting over here. And one of y'all gets so upset to the point you like, forget it. I know what I'm going to do. Steal it. And you release it in the public.
Just throwing viruses in the air, just like we make it rain, huh?
Now, do you not know that these laboratories are like in Virginia, North Carolina, few minutes away from the White? They are right here up under our noses. Gain of function research is real. You asked the question in the last show. You was wondering how these viruses were coming back alive because they are releasing them in amongst us in the population. That's how.
Because they got with me with that measles thing, man. The measles thing, that's what sparked my antenna and got me to raise some eyebrows when the measles all of a sudden made a comeback. So yeah, that's I want to know how are they coming back. And now with the gain of function, so with the gain of function, you got to know if something is gained, something is lost. Like I was telling you earlier on the phone, man, the loss of functions and gain of functions are the same thing. The loss of functions mutate your DNA, which causes sickle cell, asthma, all those within you. And the gain of functions, which replace what you lost, but replace what you gathered out of that loss, for like sickle cell and all that, made that 20 times 30 worse. So there's no win to this. It's like a headbutt. Nobody wins in a headbutt. Go ahead, Yeshara.
So I was, as you were making that point, Oxify, I was just thinking about the term gain of function. If you had a job, right, and I'm your boss, if you get a promotion, right, say you came in the lowest level or whatever, and you got a promotion, well, you gained an additional title, right? You've gained an additional function within the job, right? So within the job structure, you've gained an additional obligation, and your payout is higher because you have a higher obligation. You can only gain an additional function if there's someone in some level of or in some position to give you that function. A virus can only do what a virus does according to nature. The only time a virus can gain an additional function is if it was intentionally added to that virus. Viruses can only mutate at the level that they operate in. If I'm a cold, if I enter your body, I can't do nothing more than give you a cold. The only time that I'm able to give you something more drastic than a cold is if I'm paired with another entity or with another virus that has a separate function from my own. And if I'm paired with that, now when I get into that vessel, I can do more damage because the function that I once had has now been mutated. Hence, HIV, right? HIV is just two totally different viruses paired together to enter the bloodstream and inhibit your body from doing what it naturally does. So who gave the function of this virus to the virus? Viruses don't
I,
just upgrade themselves.
that's right. That's right. Gain of function. I mean, again, they are being subliminally telling us the truth. Subliminally. Gain of function. What is the function? The function is to kill you off, man. I don't know no better way of saying that. I don't know no easier way, no other way of saying it. The function is to kill you off. We read 2 articles where they had contraceptives of pests, goyams. That's what they call us, goyams, which is pests, which is considered cattle, which the scriptures say my people are being led to the slaughter as what? As sheep. Right? Gain of function. They are taking viruses to make them weapons. Sometimes it's important to repeat yourself so that the message that you're trying to get across stick. They are weaponizing viruses. I'm really under the impression, and I was sharing it with my brother, that we had a false flag from March all the way up until when these cocktails put out. Because the weapon is the cocktail. Let's say that this was a syringe. I don't care who you are in this day and time. You cannot tell what's inside of this syringe. You don't know what is in here. And for you to trust anybody to stick what's inside this vial in your body, something is seriously wrong with you. We don't even go to strangers' house and eat because we don't know how they live. We don't know what's in the food. But you're going to go to these people and let them put something foreign in your body. And look at the hypocrisy of America when they say, my choice, my body. But when it comes to this, I don't have a choice, even though it's my body. Why? Because the function has been gained to kill you off. Ezra said that there's going to come a time where it's going to be 10 people to a city. A man is going to wish that they see somebody else. We living in those days, people. Go ahead, Safa. No, I'm sorry. Roshan, I'm sorry. You've been silent for a while, brother. We have not forgotten you, man. Roshan?
It look like I think he taking care of business. There you go.
There he is. You have anything to add to this, brother? Go ahead, Safa. We'll get him back in.
Cute looks ain't gonna get you far. I'm glad everybody on this panel we some good looking brothers. So what's wrong with your shower?
That's a bad book, brother.
Yeah. Hey man, go ahead. Go ahead. I ain't got nothing.
I was just gonna mention the book, man. You can't possibly know where you're going unless you know your future or your history. Excuse me, right? That goes with the curriculums taught to you. That goes with the foods you put in your mouth. That goes with who you are as a people, and that also goes with the experimentations that has been done to your people historically. Nothing is new under the sun. We know that. So with knowing that, in order to understand where you're going, you must know where you've been. Why? So that you don't travel down those same paths again. We're going down the same paths because we won't study history. And that's
exactly. I think you had some historical pandemics, didn't you, Safa?
Yeah. I sent them to you because I can't pull them up right now. But they're trying to kill that theory that every 100 years something new come out. Now we know before 1920 there was a little something in which we brought up in the show, but in between, every 100 years there's something major that comes out to make us put on a mask. We already know that the mask causes issues with our body. We already know that the mask is a subliminal thing for as the elite. What they that's a whole other show. But yeah, every 100 years there's something that they bring out to colonize us to make sure that we get put in check.
Exactly.
I sent it to you, but yeah, I don't think you can pull it. But
Go ahead, Roshan. We want to hear from you, brother.
Yeah,
I
so
don't think he can hear us.
I'm actually still. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can y'all hear me? Well, my last thought is because I'm actually still on this weakening the nations, right? And I'm still thinking about this, and I think the the uh, the number one uh, way that Satan was able to do this was to make the nations believe that, or to see that whatever is wicked, he made us see that whatever is deemed wicked, we won't deem it as wicked because he makes it look harmless. If that makes sense, if you can kind of see where I'm going here. So I think the biggest pill for people to swallow in life is the fact that there are other people in this world who worship other gods, who worship Satan. Because when you say that to normal people, the first place their mind goes is, that ain't true. They think it's absurd. So that's why it's so easy for people to, like we talk about the cocktail, take the cocktail and stuff like that, because Satan has made everything seem so harmless in this world. And people don't believe that there's people in this world who worship other gods. They're really worshiping Satan.
Well, the thing too, Roshan, is that people don't understand that science in itself is a religion. And this
Right.
is the religion that they are trying to get the world to follow right now. They repeat it to us over and over again. Trust science. I believe in science. Trust science. And if and what you don't understand is that if you trust science, then you are putting aside the power who created us, man. I want you to think about this. Everything has an order, okay? Everything has an order. A higher created both male and female. I'm sorry. He created both male and female. And he told them to be fruitful and multiply. That's the only way that we can continue to procreate. But when you go outside of that order, what happens? No more procreate. You got contraceptives, which is part of the plan. See? Now, I don't care how much this world tell us that is normal. Being homosexuals is a normalcy. It's not. It's abnormal. It is as much abnormal as a shark living in Lake Michigan. A shark was created to survive in salt water, not in fresh water. So if you take the shark out of the ocean where salt water is and put it in fresh water, even though it's water, it's not the type of water that shark is supposed to live in, which means that the shark is going to die because it's out of order. It don't matter. So the point that I'm making here is that the Most High, when he created man, he gave us a certain DNA, genetic makeup. When he created beasts, he gave them a certain DNA, a genetic makeup. I don't care how many times they tell us that a virus jumped from a bat, a cow, a pig, or whatever into us. It don't make sense because that would be out of order. We have laws that we are not even supposed to mix material. If you got on cotton, everything got to be cotton. Don't take cotton and mix it with polyester. So you telling me naturally Natural means order, origin from the Most High himself. So you telling me naturally that a virus jumped from a pig to a man and we got swine flu? No, you created that for a function, and the function is to get rid of the pest, which is the people. That's the point. It's abnormal. So if you trust in science, you don't trust in the God that created you. Closing remarks. Go around the table. Who want to start it off?
I just want to bring out some points that everybody has said since the beginning about the Most High and all these little small deities. We go into Psalms 82, verse 1. A higher, I'm going to read it just the way it says. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He stand above everybody, the mighty, all of them, the renowned, everybody that you could think of. He judged among the gods. So he is the power above all powers that's judging them. And you can precept that with Jude, because hell has enlarged itself for those gods who decided to want to sit there and take over and corrupt this earth and destroy what he created and deal with his people. Oh, and my regular closing, Mark, you know it. Fear God, keep his commandments, but that is the whole duty of man.
Yashari and then Roshan.
Yes, sir. Axel said it best. At the end of the day, it's crazy because Brother Yeshub made mention of the gain of function, and he said what's really important. Now we're gonna, reveal the evil works that's done in darkness, but what we want you guys to walk away from this show knowing or having, set in your heart or in your mind is that the end of that function, the conclusion of that function, the overall solution of that function is death to you, right? They don't care how you get there, right? Now, on the flip hand side of that, like, Brother Safar is saying, what is the end of the function of the Most High? What is his gain of function, if you will? To fear God and keep his commandments. So it ain't no gray areas, ain't no fence to straddle. Nah, it's a line being drawn like the days of Moses. Choose ye this day whom ye will serve. You can't, like Brother Yeshub said, you can't serve the Most High God and believe in science. You can't, because you're rendering your vessel over for experimental solutions outside of God. And I'll leave off with this. Sirach chapter 38, verse 4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. So if you're wise, you won't hate the natural medications, if you will, that the Most High God has given us. How do you show that you're not wise and that you actually hate that medicine? By taking an alternative route, by taking a man-made route, by going the way of science to try to bring forth a solution to a body that was given to you by the very spirit that created those scientists in whom you trust. And I'll digress.
Go ahead, Roshan.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, my closing statement would be, uh, it goes back to what I was just saying. Uh, the scripture says that Satan has transformed into an angel of light, but I want people to understand that he's transformed into an angel of light so much to the point to where there has been a a cocktail created, right? And people are willing to take it, and the whole entire world is saying that it's harmful. So I just want people to understand how much of an angel of light that he's transformed into, right? And I want to share the scripture right here, because when you look at the wickedness of this world, and you don't want to believe that this world is wicked, This is what ended up happening to you. This is Matthew 24 and 43. It says, but know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would have not suffered his house to be broken up.
That's right.
This is going to be a lot of people in this earth. And the reason why it's going to be a lot of people is because nobody wants to believe that this world is wicked. Nobody wants to believe it. Aside from the ones who do believe it. Right? Nobody wants to believe that Satan has dominion over this earth. And
Gone. Job 9 and 24, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. These are verses that so many people look over. So many verses that none of their pastors teach. So many verses that people have never seen before in their life. You got to ask yourself, who is the wicked? The wicked are the ones that's coming up with stuff like gain of function research to go and take a minor virus that is attached to animals and create bigger viruses to where they can attach to people in order to kill them. This is Yeshua Judah. This is the Truth Be Told Flex podcast. And I don't know, this show was probably a little bit slower than some of our other shows, but I think it was needful that we took time out and explained some of this stuff. And to be honest with you, it's so much information with it. I still don't think that we got, it's almost impossible to get the information of this all the way out, but hopefully we got enough to where you know what it is. Atsufa, thank you. Roshan, Judah, thank you. Yesharia, thank you as well. Coming up on the show on the 17th of June this month, we're going to have Sister Delta and your Pa Q. They're going to be coming in. Exactly. That's going to be a very, very great show. For those of you who know who they are, tune in. And for those who don't know who they are, tune in as well. We got some great shows that's going to line up as well. We're going to talk about digital currency, I know for a fact. And I also want to talk about pharmaceuticals. America is only one of two countries that sell pharmaceuticals on TV commercials. Me and Oxify talk about this all the time. They're weakening us through the medications, through the foods, and all of this. So this is just a heads up on some of the shows that we got coming up down the pipe. And we want to thank you guys. And Roshan, if you hooked up pretty good, man, give the people the instructions on what they need to do, brother.
If you guys don't mind, subscribe to our channel. Please subscribe.
Please subscribe to our channel. And with that being said, gentlemen, our subscriptions are going up daily, man. I've been checking them out. We are getting new people. They're coming in. And we can get those people to come in and hit that like button, dislike button, and leave us a comment. That would be great as well, because these are the things that help the show grow. With that being said, we are out of here the same way we came in. Shalom.
Shalom, Maya.
Listen, man, in case you didn't know, it's almost close. In case you didn't know, it's unraveling. Listen, man, in case you didn't know, it's almost getting close. In case you didn't know, it's unraveling.